guys, this is Amanda with Lace Cosmetics, and I'm coming at you again with another video where you ask and I answer. I went to social media and asked for you to send me questions about makeup, whether it be technique, products, just any general makeup question. Send it in to me and I will answer it for you. Today's question comes from Lisa, and she asked if she is doing her concealer the right way. Concealer can be really tricky. It is a more opaque, thicker consistency than a foundation, so sometimes it can be really hard to either color match or to make it look natural, make it look like skin. So I'm going to give you some tips and tricks that you can do so you can make sure you are wearing your concealer the right way. Tip number 1, moisturize before you apply your concealer. This is so important. Your skincare is the most important thing that you can do before you put on your makeup, because it lays the foundation for your makeup. So it will lay more smoothly, it'll wear longer, it's not going to look dry, it's not going to crease up if you do it the right way. So before you put on any concealer, make sure that you are putting on a nice hydrating eye cream. Tap with your ring finger, it's the weakest finger on your hand, so it's not going to tug at the eye area. This is the thinnest bit of skin on your body. So you don't want to tug at it and you don't want to cause premature aging. So you're going to tap your moisturizer right underneath your eye and up towards the temples. And this is going to hydrate and it's going to prepare the skin. Tip number 2, make sure you're using primer on your skin. When you use a primer, that is the next layer that is going to help your makeup wear even longer throughout the day and give a nice smooth surface. There are a lot of primers out there, so find the one that works best for your skin. Tip number 3, put your foundation on before you apply your concealer. If you think about it, if you did concealer first, you're doing all of this work to color correct and make your skin look great, and then you're putting foundation on top of it, dabbing it on, brushing it on, rubbing it on, pouncing it on with a beauty blender, and it's going to make your concealer move. So put your foundation on first, and that's going to do some of the color correcting for you, and then go back and conceal and brighten up underneath the eyes, conceal around the face if you have any breakouts or discoloration. The foundation is going to do exactly what the name is. It's a foundation. And then you're going to go back and color correct. Tip number 4, color correcting. If you have really dark circles underneath your eyes or any discoloration, you're going to want to use a color corrector first. So your color corrector you'll do kind of a peachy tone or a yellow depending on what discoloration you have. But you're going to use a color corrector first, very lightly. I like to take a little bit of it, tap it on. Using your finger is really great because it actually warms up the concealer. So you're going to dab it on and then go back over with just a little bit of your concealer, and that is going to help take it away. If you have, say, a darker complexion and you have the really dark circles underneath your eyes, if you use actually kind of an orangey tone or an apricot, that is going to do the trick for you. You're going to want to do that first, and then you go back in with your concealer that's closer to your skin tone. For someone with a lighter complexion like me, you're going to use more of a peachy undertone for your skin. Tip number 5, and this is a big one, don't go too light with your concealer. A lot of people, especially on YouTube and Instagram, have the really light concealer underneath their eyes. They pull it down here, they go way up here. It's just super bright. That's not natural. You can actually get a really nice bright under eye without using such a light product. A lot of people then, if they do that, have to go back in, they'll do the really dark color in here for their contour and they blend everything together. And that's just not the way to apply makeup. It doesn't look natural. It may look really great in photos. In person, generally it looks terrible, or it just looks really heavy and cakey. Use a concealer that's a shade or 2 lighter than your natural tone, and that is going to do it for you. As long as you use your color correctors, things like that, you're not going to have to go in so heavy with such a light concealer. So 1 or 2 shades lighter and it will look perfect. Tip number 6, pat on your concealer, don't rub it. If you're going to put your concealer on with your fingers, use your ring fingers. It's the weakest finger on your hand, so it's not going to tug at the eye area. This is the thinnest skin on your body, so you don't want to pull at it, otherwise you're going to prematurely age your skin. Tap the concealer on around your eye with your ring finger. That's also warming up the product, so it's going to go on smoother, but it will put it on nicely where it just looks like skin. And you only need a couple of dots, not a lot of product. Tap it on, it will look amazing. Tip number 7, micro-concealing. Micro-concealing is something I wish I knew when I was younger. When you have breakouts on your skin, it can be really hard to cover them without them looking heavy or flaky or just really obvious that you're trying to cover is it. So with micro-concealing, you take a skinny, teeny tiny brush. You're gonna put it in your concealer and then you just dab it onto the little imperfections. It's gonna leave a tiny bit of color, and then you can take your finger or take your beauty blender and you just gently pat it out. So it's covering the color. It's gonna help cover the blemish, but it's not going to look like you have a blob of concealer on your face. Tip number 8, set your concealer right away. When you move your face, smile, anything like that, it's making your makeup move around. You have to set it. Some foundations you don't have to set. Concealers, I definitely suggest setting them when you get them on, especially because they are a little bit thicker. So you're going to want to take a translucent powder, or you can use any kind of setting powder. And I generally like to use a big fluffy brush, and then I just take it and dab it with the powder on my face and just set the makeup. That way you can go ahead and you can feel like you can move your face, you can smile, and your makeup isn't going to sink into your skin. Tip number 9, don't drag your concealer too low. We want these beautiful cheeks that are contoured, they have blush, they may have a highlight on them. If you bring your concealer too low, then you're really making your face look a bit misshapen and you're not putting the emphasis on the right areas. So don't do the big triangle like people used to teach us to do back in the day. You want to, like I said, do a couple of dots of concealer going up, blend that out, and then that's it. You don't want to do a big pulled down conceal. It's not natural. If you're not wearing makeup and the sun hits, it's not naturally doing a huge light glow. You're gonna have a little bit of a glow and blowout, especially in pictures, but it's not going to be all the way down into here. Your cheek, you want to go from the temple towards the apple of the cheek. Notice that if you did that light concealing, it's going to cut into that, and you're going to get too much concealer right there where your blush isn't going to sit the right way. It's not going to look right. It's going to be way too light. So be careful when you're concealing, don't go too low. Tip number 10, concealing with the right formula. It can be really tricky to find a formula that works best for you, especially when there are a million products on the market. Generally with the thicker formulas, I like those for photo shoots, television, if you're doing film, anything like that, it's gonna look better. Or if you're going out at night, sometimes you can do a thicker formula foundation and you can't really tell, it'll look fine. Generally, for most people, I like to do a foundation that's going to be a little bit thinner. You can do something with a tube with a doe foot wand, or you can do something in a pan that you can kind of warm up or thin out with your fingers, maybe mix it with a little bit of moisturizer, but you don't want to do anything too heavy or cakey. Now, everybody's skin is different and will respond to concealers in different ways, so just play with it and see what works best for you. But if something just isn't looking right, don't keep trying to make it work. Go find something different that you can play with and see if it's gonna look better and look more natural on your skin. Okay, that's it for me today. I really hope that you like this. I hope it's helpful. I hope that it makes your journey with concealers a little easier. Please let me know if you have any other questions you would like for me to answer. Leave them in the comments below. And I hope you are all doing well out there, staying safe, staying healthy. I miss all of you. Hope to see you soon. Have a great day.